Have you ever stopped to reflect on your own mortality? What would you do if you knew your time was limited? And, more importantly, how can the awareness of death influence your life's purpose? In today's video, we're going to explore how the awareness of death could be the missing piece for your spiritual awakening. Believe me, looking at life through the lens of mortality might be exactly what you need to live with more intensity, purpose, and connection. Keep watching and discover how this reflection can transform your life. Death is often one of the greatest taboos in our society. It's a topic we avoid, something we prefer not to touch. But the reality is, by ignoring it, we're missing out on one of the greatest sources of wisdom for our own growth. Mortality, though a frightening concept at first, can be the great awakening we need to live more authentically and with purpose. It sounds contradictory, doesn't it? How could something so inevitable and final help us live a fuller life? But, in fact, that's exactly what awareness of death can do for us. It challenges us to look at our lives in a completely new way, pushes us to rethink our priorities, and, most importantly, shows us what really matters. In this video, we're going to dive into how reflecting on death can be the catalyst for a profound spiritual awakening. Through this reflection, you may discover your life's purpose and find a new way to live. Ready to take this journey with us? Death is the one certainty we all share. It doesn't matter who we are, where we come from, or what we've achieved in life. We're all headed toward the same reality. This is an inescapable fact. And as uncomfortable as it is, recognizing this can lead us to a powerful truth. Death, in its inevitability, can be a great ally in the way we live. When we become aware of our mortality, we begin to reflect on what we're really doing with our time. This gives us the opportunity to stop and ask ourselves, am I living fully? Am I dedicating my time to what truly matters? Death, then, stops being a threat and becomes an ally. It reminds us that time is limited, and we must make the most of each moment with intention and presence. Leo Buscaglia, a great thinker on the subject of death, once said, "The fear of death is, in many cases, the fear of life." And indeed, when we're able to embrace our mortality, we can live more intensely and authentically. Accepting death invites us not to waste a single second of our journey, but to live with more purpose, more authenticity, and more connection. When we face the reality that time is limited, our perspective on life begins to shift. What once seemed urgent, like accumulating material wealth or gaining social status, loses its importance. Instead, we begin to seek something deeper, something that truly connects us to our life's purpose. Understanding mortality makes us reflect on what we really want to leave behind when our time is up. The search for a greater life purpose takes on new meaning. What truly matters is not what we own, but how we impact the world and those around us. This reflection can be transformative. It challenges us to act in alignment with what we value most and to free ourselves from distractions that pull us away from our true purpose. A great way to connect with this is by asking yourself, if I knew I only had 1 year left to live, how would I choose to live? What would my priorities be? What would I really want to do, feel, or experience? This simple but profound question can help us realign our actions and intentions with what truly matters. Reflecting on our mortality gives us a new filter for making choices and setting priorities. Instead of simply reacting to external stimuli, we begin to live with a clearer awareness of what we truly want to achieve in our life's journey. Death, contrary to what many believe, is not just an end, but a powerful invitation to spiritual awakening. The awareness that life is finite can be the greatest motivator for us to dive deeper into what truly matters, to question the meaning of our existence, and to seek a path that aligns with our greater purpose. When we think about death, we may feel discomfort, but at the same time, we're compelled to reflect on what we've lived and what we've left unlived. The understanding that everything is temporary, even the most cherished things, the most precious moments, can help us let go of what's not essential and motivate us to nurture what is eternal: spirituality, love, and authentic experiences. Norman Cousins, in one of his reflections, said, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we're still alive." This is a crucial point. While death is inevitable, what truly matters is how much we've truly lived while we're here. And it's this awakening, often triggered by reflecting on mortality, that leads us to live more consciously, to connect with something greater than ourselves, and to seek deep spiritual transformation. This spiritual transformation doesn't happen overnight, but is a continuous process of self-discovery. When we embrace our mortality, we're challenged to question our beliefs, seek deeper answers, and live more authentically, without fear of failure or rejection. The fear of death is one of the most universal and often silent emotions. It hides in our thoughts, our actions, and even in our beliefs. Society often teaches us to fear death, to see it as the greatest enemy, something we must avoid at all costs. But in reality, spiritual wisdom invites us to rethink that fear. What if, instead of fearing death, we accepted its inevitability? When we learn to see death not as something to fear, but as part of the natural cycle of life, the fear starts to lose its grip. By accepting that death is as natural as birth, we free ourselves from many of the anxieties that limit our lives. As philosopher Eckhart Tolle puts it, when you surrender to the flow of life, without resistance, death is no longer something to fear. Overcoming the fear of death doesn't mean neglecting it or ignoring it, but rather accepting it as part of our journey. True spiritual wisdom comes from understanding that death is not the end, but a transformation. By meditating on death, we can start to change our relationship with it. Ask yourself, what if I wasn't afraid of death? How would my life look? How would I act? This reflection can open doors to a new understanding, where death stops being a threat and becomes a powerful reminder that life is precious, and we must live each moment authentically and without regrets. Reflecting on death brings us to a deep understanding of the importance of the present. When we think about the finitude of life, we realize that tomorrow is uncertain, and time waits for no one. The now, the present moment, becomes the only truly tangible reality. Living in the now isn't just a nice idea. It's a daily practice that connects us to the essence of life. True spirituality begins when we stop postponing life and start living with full awareness of each moment. When we reflect on death, we realize we have limited time to experience life fully, to love, to learn, to grow, and to live with truth. That's why practicing living in the now is so important. Every small gesture, every word, every decision can become an opportunity to live with more intensity and presence. When we are fully present, we find a richer, more meaningful life. What are we waiting for to truly live? Why postpone what really matters? One simple way to begin living in the now is by practicing daily gratitude. Every morning, when you wake up, take a moment to thank for being alive, for the chance to experience another day. By doing this, you automatically connect with the present and remind yourself of the importance of living with intention and authenticity. Awareness of death invites us to look beyond our daily worries and connect with something greater, something that transcends our personal and material ambitions. When we recognize that our time here is limited, life takes on new meaning. Life's purpose, which may have seemed vague or distant before, becomes a more urgent, clearer, and deeper search. Connecting with a greater purpose doesn't just mean finding meaningful work or achieving great feats. It's about aligning with a mission that transcends ego and external expectations. As we reflect on mortality, we begin to realize that true peace and fulfillment come from contributing to the collective well-being, living in alignment with our deepest values, and syncing with the flow of life. Aligning with a greater purpose is often what gives us the motivation and clarity to live with more authenticity and purpose. It's a journey of self-discovery, where, by looking at our mortality, we find a drive to live more consciously, more lovingly, and more connected to what really matters. As we accept death as an inevitable reality, we understand that our true mission in this life isn't to accumulate wealth or gain recognition, but to live in a way that reflects who we really are. This is the moment to ask ourselves, what do I truly want to leave behind in the world? How can I live in a way that my legacy inspires others to live with more authenticity and love? Reflecting on death can be the first step toward a deep spiritual awakening. Death doesn't need to be feared, but rather recognized as an ally in our journey of self-knowledge. By accepting our mortality, we become more aware of what truly matters: the time we have, the quality of the moments we live, and how we connect with our life's purpose. Living with the awareness of death challenges us to set aside our fears and distractions, to embrace life with more love, gratitude, and authenticity. We are called to live with more purpose, more truth, and more presence. Time is limited, and life is precious, so we shouldn't waste it on things that don't help us grow or connect with the deepest parts of ourselves. The good news is you're not alone on this journey. Thousands of people around the world are finding a deeper purpose and a more meaningful life by reflecting on mortality. And now, you have the opportunity to live more fully, more consciously, and more aligned with your true purpose. If this video resonated with you and you feel it could transform the way you live, I invite you to take the next step in this journey of self-discovery. Like, comment, and share this reflection with those you think need to hear it too. Let's expand this awareness and spiritually awaken to the true essence of life together. May we live each day with more love, more gratitude, and more connection to what truly matters. And above all, may we remember that death, far from being an end, is a constant reminder of the beauty and preciousness of life. And if you want to dive even deeper into this process, watch our video, The Secret to Achieving True Freedom, Peace and Light. Although the Kybalion and the esoteric mysteries of Isis are ancient, their relevance is more current than ever. The modern world, with all its technology and scientific advances, faces an increasing search for meaning and purpose. Many feel disconnected from something greater, lost amid the chaos of everyday life. And it's exactly here that the teachings of the Kybalion and ancient mysteries become crucial. They offer a return to essence, a reconnection with the fundamental principles that govern the universe and guide us on our spiritual journey. Today, more people are seeking ways to understand and transform their lives deeply. Spiritual awakening is no longer something reserved only for a few mystics or philosophers. It has become a necessity for anyone seeking balance and purpose. The Kybalion, with its clear and profound principles, offers a practical framework for this. Studying its laws isn't just about theorizing, but applying these universal truths to create a more conscious life, aligned with the natural flow of the universe. Furthermore, the Kybalion and ancient mysteries teach us about the power of self-knowledge and personal transformation. In a time of so much external distraction, the path inward is becoming increasingly vital. The search for balance between the material and spiritual planes, the understanding of cause and effect, mastery over the mind and emotions. These teachings can and should be applied today for a fuller and more meaningful life. Hermetic principles and the mysteries of Isis show us that the search for self-knowledge is timeless. They offer us tools to face the challenges of the modern world, helping us understand our inner nature and apply that understanding to create a more balanced spiritual life. Spiritual awakening, then, becomes an ongoing and dynamic process that can be cultivated every day as we connect with these ancient wisdoms. As ancient as these teachings are, their applicability transcends time and remains a powerful key for those who want to live with more purpose, wisdom, and connection to the whole. Today, we've explored how the teachings of the Kybalion, immortalized by Hermetic philosophy, connect with ancient esoteric mysteries, including the mysteries of Isis, and how these teachings can be powerful tools in the process of spiritual awakening. Through this journey, it's clear that true knowledge isn't something distant or inaccessible. It's already within us, waiting to be unveiled, if we're willing to seek and apply the universal laws that govern our existence. The Kybalion offers us 7 fundamental principles that aren't just abstract ideas, but daily practices that can transform our reality. They invite us to look within, understand the nature of the mind, recognize the importance of balance and cause and effect. But above all, they teach us that spiritual awakening doesn't happen outside of us, but inside, in every thought, action, and intention. The journey of self-knowledge, then, is an ongoing walk, a process of evolution that begins with understanding these laws and is reflected in our actions and everyday choices. Just as Isis sought to restore Osiris' wholeness, we too must seek our own wholeness and connection with the divine. The Kybalion is a guide on this journey, illuminating the path and showing us that, through the application of its teachings, we can transform our lives and achieve a new consciousness. Now, I invite you to take the next step. If this content made sense to you and touched your heart, share it with someone who could also benefit from this wisdom. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts on how the esoteric mysteries have influenced your spiritual journey. And, of course, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue this path of spiritual growth with us. If these words resonated with you, I invite you to take the next step in this journey of self-discovery. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue this path of spiritual growth with us. Share your experiences with the reality you live in. How has it been a teacher for your own awakening? Let's grow together, not just in mind, but in heart. And if you want to dive deeper into this process, watch our video, Top Psychologist Reveals Power of Distancing for Growth. Peace and light.